From 0 to JLPT N5, this is lesson 74. So today let's talk about this N5 grammar pattern, verb plus a noun. So you can modify a noun using a verb sentence. Before we move on to this grammar pattern, let's review how you can modify nouns. So you can first modify nouns using e-adjectives. For example, an interesting movie is 面白い映画。面白い is e-adjective meaning interesting. 映画 is movie, noun. Therefore, e-adjective can modify a noun, and you need nothing in between those two. You can directly add noun after e-adjective. But if you use na adjective, you need to have na before the noun. For example, a quiet park is 静かな公園。Quiet is 静か and this is na adjective. But if you modify a noun, in this case park, you need to have this na before the noun park. Thirdly, if you want to modify a noun using another noun, for example, a restaurant in Tokyo is 東京のレストラン。Tokyo is a noun, restaurant also a noun. In this case, you need to have this no in between those two. And today we will focus on this one, plain form verb. So using a plain form verb, you can also modify a noun. So here is the grammar pattern. Use the plain form verb and then add noun. Don't use polite form. So here is one example. The cakes my mother makes are delicious. 母が作るケーキは美味しい。So in English, my mother makes modifies this cake. And in English, this comes after the noun it modifies. But in Japanese, this sentence comes before the noun it modifies. Therefore, my mother makes comes before the cakes. 母が作る This means my mother makes. ケーキ that's the noun. It modifies. 作る is the plain form verb. So you cannot use polite form. 母が作りますケーキは that doesn't work. It has to be in the plain form. I will show you another example.The book which I read yesterday was interesting. I put this part in parentheses to make it clear. So, this sentence, after which, this modifies the noun, the book. This explains the book more in detail. So in Japanese, this comes right in front of the noun.昨日読んだ本は面白かった。昨日読んだ is this part, and this comes before the book, 本。Therefore, 昨日読んだ and 本、book. This 読んだ is the plain form verb, past tense, but in the plain form.And there's nothing in between those two. You don't need any particle after 読んだ。Another example. The person wearing the t-shirt is 田中さん。T シャツを着ている人は田中さんです。Again, this part comes before the noun it modifies. In this case, the person.T シャツを着ている is this part. And 人 the person comes after this sentence. 着ている should be in the plain form, so don't say 着ています. That doesn't work. Now, I'd like you to do this exercise. Stop the video and translate the sentences. When you are ready, please come back. Now, the answers. The place I visited last summer was beautiful. 去年の夏行ったところは綺麗でした。So I visited last summer is explaining the place more in detail. 去年の夏行った which is this spot. This comes right in front of the noun. It modifies. ところ place. It should be in the plain form. 行った。Next one. The song I listened to yesterday at the concert was good. 昨日コンサートで聴いた曲は良かった。So basically, the main sentence structure is this. The song was good. That is the main sentence structure. But this sentence, this part is only explaining the song more in detail. And this part comes right in front of the song in Japanese. Therefore, 昨日コンサートで聴いた comes before the song 曲 and there is nothing in between those two. No particles. Last one. The person reading the newspaper is my boss. 新聞を読んでいる人は私の上司です。So again, this part comes right in front of the noun, the person. 新聞を読んでいる人 the noun, and there's nothing between those two. 読んでいる has to be in the plain form. You cannot say 読んでいます人 that doesn't work. Now I will read the sentence, so please repeat after me. 去年の夏行ったところは綺麗でした。昨日コンサートで聴いた曲は良かった。新聞を読んでいる人は私の上司です。Very good job. So lastly, I have this homework for you. Translate the sentences and put your answers in the comment below. I will check and correct your homework. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me anytime. I will be very happy to answer your questions. So, みんな今日もありがとう。I will see you again in the next lesson then. みんなまたね。バイバイ。